Because animals don't have a conscience. They're not
Can I
created in
refute
the
that?
image
Can I
of
refute that?
God.
Can I refute that? I can refute that. I can refute that.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, man? How you been?
All is well.
All right, I want to go for the biblical question first.
There is a secret place inside of you that does not feel pain and headache. I mean, heartache. Where is that place? It doesn't feel good or bad. There's no feeling to it at all. Where's that place?
There's a place in you that has no feeling. That doesn't. There's. I guess it's like I have to like disagree with the question because it's not. I don't think like anybody inside of them they gonna feel something. Like if you don't like, the only way to not feel anything is to disconnect yourself from everything, and no person is able to do that.
Why
So
not?
I feel like there's not a place that people don't have a place. The only way to be like that is to be a robot. That means you won't be affected. Like there's nothing. Yeah, it'd be like kind of like you. How like nothing like how bonds and having relationships and stuff like that doesn't have like no. There's no, you don't see no benefits or no truths in having and stuff like that. You don't see how a person could be hurt by like being like by losing somebody or like a relationship breaking up. You don't see how like you don't see how losing a connection to somebody could be like to be hurtful to have like you don't see the emotional aspect of being close to somebody. You are like a ice. You like a polar bear. I won't say a polar bear, but you have like no feelings. No, you have no compassion. No heart. You talk about love a lot, but you don't ever like I guess like display it or like you don't ever show any kind of love to anything because anything that comes out your mouth is bashing on stuff.
What does
That's like
love
all.
look like?
What does love look like?
Yeah,
Love
you
is
say I never
uplifting.
show love to anyone. Where does love? What does love look like?
I mean, love is like uplifting.
What
And
does
like
it
you could
look
take like,
like?
well, I mean that's like what I'm saying. Like it's like I guess like praising people for the stuff that they do right. I mean criticizing them for getting wrong, but you can't just criticize somebody and not give them like a solution.
But I
And it's
give
like I guess
solution.
you
I
really
tell
can't.
them to return to the Father.
That's not a solution.
Why you
Or
say
like
that's
somebody be
not
like,
a solution?
all right, so say you tell somebody return to their father, and like what their father is not. I guess like I don't know like so what if their father is not what you consider to be. I what if it goes back to a father and their father is not an actual father. It's kind of like you, like
What?
cold and detached and stuff like that. Don't have no like not understanding like a person for who they are. Like I don't see how like going back to somebody that everybody can't just go back to somebody and have that same. I guess like that connect, have that happy ever after moment that you be like talking about. That doesn't happen for everybody.
How do you know?
How do I know?
Right.
Because a lot of people like a lot of people fathers are not. I mean I don't know like how do I know? Because like first of all, it's not even mathematically possible for everybody to go back to their father
Why
and work
not?
out
Why
perfect.
is not possible?
Why is it not possible?
Right.
Law of numbers, law of probability. And what if people fathers that are not like here?
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
so like, I mean, you could just calculate the people that can't even go back to their fathers because their father's dead.
And what does it mean
That
when you hear me say return to the Father? What does that mean to you?
I think it's something that's impossible. I think like you and the
When you
way that
hear
you
me say return to the Father, what does that mean to you?
what does it mean? I'm also explaining to you. I think that for me, it like and it coming from the way that you are and the way that you came from, like and from where you came from, and how how like small minded that you think. To me, it's like something impossible. Like you want people to actually like.
You're still not telling me what, when you hear me say return
I'm
to
about
the
to.
Father, what does return to the Father mean to you?
First of all, I was setting the premises because what I'm about to say. It's like
What?
something you want somebody
What'd you
for what I'm
say?
about to say. You want people to change. Like you
Jason,
want people to
you say
be
you're
like.
doing
I'm
what
about to
now?
explain it.
Jason,
You're like I'm answering your question.
when you hear me say return to the Father, what does that mean to Jason out of Buffalo, New York?
It means you want somebody to change to be like the people that they are, everything that they got going. Like the person that they are, like everything like so you want them to change to like their father's value, change to like the person that their father would want them to be. You want them to like discredit or disconnect from like the person that they are to go be somebody that somebody else want them to be instead of being themselves. That's what it looked like to me.
So
Because when you go to your
when God said return to the Father, there would come a day when He will return the children to the fathers and the father to the children. What does that mean to you?
what does that mean to me? That means he was talking about an enslaved people when their fathers and sons were separated and stuff like that. So you don't talk about the context and stuff when it's and stuff like you just talk about a verse. You don't talk about the context.
What made
They
you
will
think
separate
that's
the
what
fathers
God
from their
meant about?
sons.
What do you
Why?
think? What made you think that's what God meant about that? About the slave
Because there
people?
were wars. There were
What?
wars. Like they were like enslaved people, and there were wars,
Where
and
did you
people
get
were
that
taken.
from?
But
That's
that's
what.
where it is in the Bible. That's what
What?
the
Where did
that's
you
what the
get that
story is
from?
from.
That's what God meant.
That is the story that it is talking about. There's a story. It's not just the context that you're saying. It's a story. It's a whole passage. It's a whole passage. It's a whole it's a whole more. It's more verses and then just that one verse.
So in those
They're talking
verses,
about
you're
people being
saying that
separated.
in that in those verses you're referring to, you're saying that God
Right.
talking about people who've been enslaved,
Enslaved people that are going to war. It's about people. I think it's either enslaved people or people going to war. Because
going
it's
to
like he was
war.
saying, yeah, like going to war. You know, like war. Because like the people rebelled against the people were rebelling against God. And he was trying to get the people's sons to be on God's side to go against their father.
Well, the one thing I can tell you, anyone that
I mean,
has
not hold on.
not returned to the Father is enslaved. They're in their
It's
own
not true.
prison.
It's not. No, no, that's not true. That's
It
not
is
true.
true. Let me ask you
That's
this:
not true. That's
what
not true.
good have you ever gotten, you, Jason? What good have you ever gotten from being emotionally connected to someone?
We're good. I guess like this.
What
That is
good
like
has it
that's
ever
what we.
done you to
Oh,
be
yeah, I forgot. I
emotionally?
forgot. Yeah, it always got. It always got. It
Jason,
always
hold
got
on. Let
purpose.
me ask you a question.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What good has it done you, Jason, to be emotionally connected to someone?
I guess they feel that you like that you want it, that you like that somebody else wants you around them. That somebody that's a good feeling. It's a warm feeling. To feel like somebody has like I guess somebody like you can like brighten up somebody's day. You have this is really good. Like it makes me feel good to be able to do something for somebody and like, knowing that somebody likes me the way I like them. And
So it
somebody
makes you
I can
feel
like
good.
vibe with.
It makes you
Yeah, I
feel
mean yeah.
good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like that. I mean, it's like a feel good, a security and stuff like that. I mean, it's like when you have somebody like when you have I guess you have stressful days, don't you?
No, but
You never have a
you
stressful
said
day.
that it makes you feel good.
I mean, it like lightens up the pressure. Like people like when you have an emotional connection with somebody, when you like
Right.
vibing with somebody, and everything is not going. When people are not listening to you, before people start listening to you in their
Jason,
relationships
you
and
keep
everything is
taking
like
it
going
off of
smooth.
you. I'm asking, what
That's what I'm saying.
does it? You said that it makes you feel good to be
Yeah, I mean,
emotionally
yeah.
connected to someone.
I mean, that's like what it is.
Jason, did you say yes? Did you
Yes,
say
I did.
that?
Yes, I did say. I did say yes. I said yes.
And
Yes, I did
so
say yes.
when you're not connected to them emotionally, do you feel bad?
I mean, it's not even. I mean, I guess like you want. I guess like when you don't have that, I guess it's like you kind of like yearn for that because as like a species, we are like a social type creature. We social creatures. We are social animals. We like to be involved with like other people. We like to be in the know. We like to have like people like to see like a smile. Like the effects of a smile. Just for the simple like a smile, like
And
one
so
person
when you
smile, the
don't
next
feel
person smile, and see. But
when you don't feel good being emotionally attached to someone, do you feel bad after when you're not feeling good?
nah, I don't think It's not like you don't feel. It's like you either got a bond with somebody or you don't. It's not
Jason, do
even like
you
really
feel
feeling
bad
better.
when you? Why can't? Do you hear me?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I'm
Do
gonna say
you
no. I'm
feel
gonna say no.
bad when you're not emotionally connected to that person that's making you feel good?
Nah, because you find something else to keep up your spirits. A lot of things about people. I'm gonna say
So,
like no. I'm
so
gonna answer your
you
question. My
find,
question,
so
answer
you,
your question
Jason,
is
you
no.
find something else once you're not
Yeah,
feeling good with that person. You find something else to make you feel good.
it's not something. It's like something. I guess like I used the wrong word. I mean, feel good is not what I wanted to use. I want to use like lift spirits, like to keep you on, like to keep you like amped, to keep you up. It's like, like you got a positive and negative energies. You either gonna give up positive vibes and negative vibes. You want to be on the positive side. You want to have somebody like with stuff like, I guess like when you got
And
feel better when you have stuff to look.
why do you want to
Why?
be on the positive side?
Why? Because you don't want to feel down. I mean, nobody wants to be
Why do you, Jason, want to
isolated.
be on
Why
the
it gotta be
positive
personal?
side?
Why, when I answer a question, it got to be personal, but you can speak for everybody.
No, I'm asking you because you're the one making these comments.
You make a lot of comments.
You said that you are a social creature or something like that.
No, I said, people. I said humans are social creatures. They're
And
social animals.
where you get that from? That humans are social animals.
Do you grow your own food?
Where you get that from? That humans are social animals.
Because we are forced to interact.
What?
We are forced to interact. We have to interact with one another.
And that's what makes you a social animal?
Yes, that's what makes us social creatures. That's what it does.
Amazing.
Other animals out in the wild, they kill each other, like point blank. They see you, it's on sight. Here we got stores. You go up and buy stuff.
But don't human beings do the same thing to one another?
I mean, a small percentage.
Is that because they are social animals?
It's because of environment, in proximity and environment.
Is it because of them being social animals?
I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna answer your question. Can I answer the question? I'm gonna say yes, and that's what you're gonna want to flip and use your sound bite. I'm gonna say yes, but it's because proximity. When you have a lot of people in a small area, it's bound for a lot of stuff to happen.
And
if you look at the crime rate, go ahead.
Should human beings be social animals? Is that a normal way to live?
We are. That's not a question. You can't. There's no.
No, that was a question.
We are social animals because we are social animals regardless.
Is that a normal way for human beings to live, to be a social animal?
It's been for the last 150,000 years.
Is that a normal way for human beings to live as social animals?
Yes, that is a normal way. That is how it's always been. What you mean? So you say so refute that. What you say amazing? Refute it. What is your you saying that, but I know you got an opinion on it or something. I know it got you some type of way. So can you? Is there an explanation behind it? Behind that amazing? Or you just saying amazing is one of them one of them onomatopoeia words that really don't mean nothing, but it's just you just said it, just be saying.
It's amazing because we just had a conversation the other day about how people have all these pets. Last night I saw on Tucker Carlson where there are people who have skunks for pets. Did you see that? They have skunks, right? And the people think that they're getting love from the animals when they're really not. And it's because they are on the level of the animal and they think that the animal is feeling what they're feeling, but they're not, because animals don't have a conscience. They're not created in the image of God.
Can I refute that? I can refute that.
Okay.
You give me a chance? I can talk about it. that. You saying animals don't have feelings? You said animals don't have feelings. You saying two people? You saying
animals don't have a conscience, so they're not feeling what.
How does an animal don't have a conscience?
Because they're not created. They can't arise above their situation. But human beings are in a fallen state because they've been turned away from the Father.
You saying a dog can't be trained? I could refute what you said. I could just challenge what you said right there. You saying a dog can't be trained?
A dog can be trained. Just like a human being. Listen, Jason. Listen.
Go ahead.
A dog can be trained because it is an animal. Just like human beings who are in a fallen state can be trained too. Anyone that has anger can be trained because they're in an animal stature, they're in an animal-like nature. So they can be trained because they're like animals.
Okay, all right. So first of all, you said
that's why.
First of all, is being trained so you're saying being trained and being taught two different things or the same thing?
It all depends.
So all right, being taught how to.
For example, you notice how people have been taught the Bible.
Okay, back to the Bible.
You know how people have been taught the Bible, right?
Yeah, I know how people been
And
talking
so
about it.
they've been trained like animals, and they think they know the truth when they really don't.
So
But they
okay,
have been
okay, okay,
trained
okay,
to repeat the Bible and hold on to the knowledge because they're
You're
in
not
an
like
animal like nature.
first of all, hold up. You can't be trained. Wait, hold up. Well, you say they were trained to repeat the Bible. All right, so I'm trying to figure out. All right, so you're saying people are trained to repeat the Bible, not taught to treat the Bible.
I guess taught and trained is the same thing
So they first of
because
all
you're
they
not
repeated it.
supposed to let anyone teach you. Because
They're
if
not
they
supposed to
teach
let
you,
anybody teach.
that is training you, and that teaching
And
will
how are
make
you
you.
supposed to learn?
I'm sorry.
How are you supposed to learn if nobody's supposed to teach you?
You have a teacher within.
So everybody does again.
What?
You saying everybody? I mean, we don't went through this point before. So you saying everybody has the innate nature of like the full potential of who they are without being taught how to use how to perfect those skills.
100%. Absolutely. Thank you, Jason. I got to take a break. I appreciate your call, buddy.
All right.
Okay. Let me go out to Buffalo and talk to Jason out of Buffalo, New York. Jason, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, man?
I'm sorry?
I said, hey, what's up? How is your day?
Oh, all is well, Jason. Thank you.
All right. Now, back to what we were talking about before, like being like cold and like detached from everything.
What makes you
said, like,
say being detached from everything is cold?
you have no interaction. There's no, you have no, like, it's like you feel nothing about anything like around you. Like, you don't care about what's going on around you. Like a robot. Just like you just move.
But why do you think that's cold, though?
That is cold.
How do you know?
I mean, robots can't emotion, compassion, none of that.
And so why do you think not being attached to the world is cold?
Why do I mean, because I ain't gonna say not being. I guess it's like it's not really not being. It's like not caring what goes on in the world.
And why would that be cold?
I mean, you don't care like what's going on around.
But how is that colder?
How is that cold? The lack of knowledge, lack of information.
What
Out in
good?
the cold.
What good is it doing you to care?
I mean, you should.
Why? What good is it doing you?
What good is it for you? I mean,
no.
all right,
What good is it doing Jason to care about what's going on around? About what's going on around him? What good is it doing? Is it doing you?
What good is it doing me? I guess it shows me new perspectives on like what's going on in the world.
But what good is it? What good is it doing you?
It opens up to new experiences. It gains like new knowledge. You meet new people. It's when you cold to the world, you just stick like one little social circle. You get all your information from that. You don't. I guess you don't like tolerate or seeking like new opinions and stuff like that.
And so what good have you gotten from the world by being attached to it?
Oh, I've learned so much.
Like what?
People, about life in general.
By being attached to the world?
It's not being attached to the world. It's like caring what goes on in the world. Having like, I guess like feeling some type of way when stuff happens.
Give me an example of what you mean.
I guess like what you were just talking about, the balloon thing. I feel some type of way about what you said about how like Biden says like it's amazing that he didn't, but you didn't say like he didn't like when he said he didn't shoot it down because it could like people could have got hurt. He had like you probably would just shot it down. You probably just did not care like what could have happened to everybody else. That's the difference between having like compassion and like something like being, I guess, caring what goes on in the world and just being all about yourself.
But Biden said he told him to shoot it down. They told him no, wait.
Yes.
It should. Isn't Biden the president? So isn't he over the military? The military not over him?
He's not over everything.
Oh, the president's not over everything?
No, there's checks and balances.
What is it that the president is not over?
There's 3 branches of government.
Is he over the military?
Yeah, but he can't just tell the military to go do something without reason.
Well, then he had a reason. We had a spy plane flying over our country, over military bases and things like that. That's
And
not
we had a
reason.
reason not.
That's
And
not
we had a
reason
reason not to do.
enough.
Hold on. And we
Is
had a
that
reason not to
reason
do it.
enough?
No, it wasn't the reason. Like the reason, the other reason trumped that reason that you said.
No,
The
I'm
reason that
asking
it could
you,
have did damage.
was that reason enough for Biden that wanted to have it shut down because it was flying
No.
over our military bases and things like that?
Yeah, but like if you would have shot it down, you don't know what would have caused the damage it would have caused. They didn't know what was in it.
And if you didn't
They
shoot
didn't
it
know,
down,
like,
you don't know the damage it caused.
I mean, if whatever it was going to take back to that, it didn't get back to it.
I'm sorry?
If there was like if it was collecting stuff like a database within it, it didn't get back to where it was going.
And how do you
And then you
know?
say,
How do you know it wasn't sending the information back to them as it was flying over the country, gathering the information?
that's a different story. What would have to
How do
handle
you
that
know
if
it
it pops
didn't? How
up?
you know it wasn't sending it back?
We don't know. Do you know?
And
You
so
know?
you don't know whether it
I
gathered
don't know. I don't
information
know.
that was in
I
there
don't
the
know.
other way, right?
I don't know. You don't know. Like you don't know either. See, can we just like wait for the information to fall out? But you said our country looks weak and stuff like that. You talking about China is crying about us shooting it down. They whining about it. You just said the statement. So how are we looking like weak in front of people if like the other countries are like whining at us about doing it, complaining about us? So how are we
When did
looking
I
weak
say
in front of
China
people?
was whining about it?
You just said it. You said China is upset that that's
Right, but I didn't say they were whining.
that's not the same thing.
I'm sorry?
Those are two different things. Those are two different things.
I don't know what you said, Jay. But let me
I
ask
said
you.
both.
You said you want to respond to the biblical question.
Yeah, your biblical question. Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
Why do you take sides? Why do you take sides?
Why do I take sides? I guess because either I have an attachment to one side, or I feel like the other side is right, or I have like like the whole thing about like the side that you on with like the whole abortion thing. I'm on the opposite side of that. I feel like it should be somebody else's choice. You say it's a man's baby, but like how is it a man's baby when like the woman's carrying it? Like it's more hers than his.
No, it's not. It's not hers at all. If the man that
What you
made the
mean?
baby, she
Possession is
wouldn't have the
9/10 of the
baby.
law.
I'm sorry.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
What?
Having something, possession. You don't know what possession is? Having something in your possession, having something, holding on to it, having it in your grasp. That is 9/10 of the law. So
You said having a baby is 9/10 of the law.
No, I said possession is 9/10 of the law.
What does that
like,
mean?
All right. So you get caught with something.
But what does that have to do with the woman carrying the man's baby?
Because it's on her. It's possessed. Like it's in her.
But it's just in the oven. The man owned the oven.
See, stuff like that. It's like, see, you have no regard for like other people except white men.
I have no regard for that. I'm not for killing children in the womb. What do you mean?
You're not for killing children in the room, but like, did you uproar? Did you do anything when Flint water crisis and stuff like that, like for the schools?
What?
Do you do anything like you said you not for like killing unborn kids in the womb, but you for like corporations deregulating stuff where they could poison foods and waters and stuff like that.
Well, that was because they allowed the black people to get in charge over in Flint, and as you know. As you know, the black people don't know how to run anything, and so they joined and they screwed up the water, just like the blacks did down in Mississippi. They put a black man in charge of Mississippi, and the water screwed up there too because he doesn't know how to run anything.
All right, first of all, you lying. Have your people look it up, and I hope you retract that statement.
I'm lying about what?
First of all, the Flint situation had nothing to do with it.
How do you know?
The commissioner for what you mean? Because I saw the reports. I watched what they said.
How do you know?
How do I just told you.
Are black people running Flint?
Not the water thing.
Are black people running Flint?
Black people running Flint? I don't know. I don't know if black people running Flint.
I'm telling you, they are. I rest my case.
Oh, you saying that? No, just because you say something don't mean that it's right.
Yeah, because I said it.
You're like, just because you said it don't mean that it's
don't mean I meant it. But anyway, Jason, thanks for your call, man, and thanks for responding to the biblical question. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Beverly.